friends, and happy Friday or Freya Day or Friga Day. Today, it marks 5 days that I've been coming to you live to share with you what are the planetary energies for each day. And I love this practice. I have been following this for years, and I've noticed there is such a powerful correlation between the day and the planet that rules it. So, what about Friday? Here we are with the end of, for a lot of people, a busy, productive, doing stuff, getting things done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, there's all this joy and excitement, and people are let free. What is Friday about? So, Friday is correlated or named after Freya, Frigga, the goddess Venus, the planet Venus. And so Venus, of course, is correlated to the divine feminine. It's one of my favorite days of the week. Venus is all about what we love to do, how we love to spend money, what we value. Venus relates a lot to value, what we love, what we appreciate, what we care about. And so Fridays can be a great day to do what we love. We might find that we have a tendency to maybe buy a little bit more material items on Fridays, to dress up a little bit more, things that emphasize beauty, love, can also be romance, right? Having a romantic date or dinner. Venus is such a beautiful energy. Venus as a planet is very much correlated with the astrological sign of Taurus. Venus rules the astrological sign of Taurus. And right now, the millionaire planet is in Taurus. Okay. And so, what is Taurus about? Taurus is earthy. I always think of Taurus as being this lush, fertile, green river valley where there's abundant flowers and food and luxury and beauty, chocolate, love, the goddess walking the earth. That is what Venus energy or Taurus energy deeply embodies. Of course, Taurus can have a more masculine side as well, but it is ruled by the planet Venus, which is the feminine symbol, no less, and is related to our divine femininity. It's also related to money. It's known as the billionaire planet. And so right now, the billionaire planet, Venus, which is also the planet that rules the energetic of Friday, which also goes back to the Scandinavian goddess Freya or Frigga, one of the goddesses, is that Venus, the billionaire planet, the energetic of the greatest wealth capacity, is currently conjunct the sun in Aries. So I thought I'd share some slides with you and go into, well, what is Aries energy? If the billionaire planet is conjunct the sun, which is illumination, which is light, which is soul purpose, Venus, of course, being the divine feminine, and sun is illumination, it means that the divine feminine force is being invited, encouraged, and potentially even pushed into action, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So let's dive into the Aries energy a little bit. Let's dive into the fact that today on Frigga Day, the planet that rules Friday, Venus is in Aries. And Aries is such a charge ahead energy. In Vedic astrology, it relates to the chariot that is just charging ahead. It's powerful energy. The element associated with Aries, of course, is fire. Okay, so I'm going to share a couple slides with you. Share comments below. How is this Venus, this Friday ruled by Venus energy treating? How does it feel to have Venus, the goddess of love, the billionaire planet in Aries? What is that bringing up for everyone? Our ladies or masculines with strong divine feminine energies, are you feeling your intuitive self activated? Are you feeling drawn to charge ahead. So Aries, of course, is ruled by the ram. It's a force of nature. Positive qualities include determined, passionate, pioneering. So you like to start new things. Aries is the first sign of the zodiacal wheel of 13 signs that I follow and that many others follow as well. And so Aries really relates to new beginnings, things starting. Okay. It's all about being confident. You're a born leader. You're motivated. You're assertive. You have a magnetic personality. You're a risk taker. On the negative side, of course, there is being inattentive, impulsive, intolerant. You might procrastinate. You might be egocentric. You might leap before looking because Aries always takes action. It's headstrong. You notice how it has the horns? Aries tends to leap before looking, take action. They can be very get hot-headed. Anger is an issue with Aries. Impatience is an issue with Aries. And so we have the goddess of love in Aries. We have to be careful with our love relationships. We have to be careful that we don't take too much rapid, self-interested action, that we leave our partners behind, or we hurt or we wound someone because we're just so focused on go time. So Aries relates to the planet Mars, which is really interesting because here we have, the planet Venus in Aries, and that's the goddess in the sign of Mars. And so I think that in itself is creating a certain amount of confusion around roles of like, okay, am I stepping into my divine feminine energy? I want to be in my feminine energy, but then the astrology is saying, go, it's like take action, be courageous, claim that masculine energy. So if you're feeling a little bit of confusion right now of like, well, I've been really practicing being in my feminine, I've been really practicing listening and receiving, but there's this like sort of fiery action energy, Aries, that Venus is in. And so it's sort of propelling us to get a little bit more motivated, to take more action. Aries is the chariot. It's that charging forward energy. And right now, both the sun and Venus are in Aries, and the planet Uranus, or I like to call it Uranus. That's a much safer word. Uranus is from Greece. It's the ancient name for the same planet that we call in Roman Uranus. Uranus, Ur is Ouranus, is all about change. It's all about lightning. It's all about excitement. I always think of Uranus energy as this like lightning bolt of innovation, of change. And here you get to see all my slides. But I just want to get the right one. So what is Uranus energy? Uranus energy is all about lightning bolts of inspiration. Okay. So yeah, let's just look at this. What is Uranus? It's the new age, it's technology, it's lightning strikes of creativity and inspiration, it's innovation. Uranus doesn't think like anyone else. Uranus is always thinking about the future, it's technology, it's new ideas, it's creativity. And so with Uranus in with the sun and in with Venus. Sun is illumination. Venus is the billionaire planet. Uranus is innovation and change and unexpected ways of thinking and lightning bolts of inspiration. So we may be seeing a lot of collective energy around new ways of doing things that will influence and affect our future, right? So the future energy is very highlighted here. Inventions, ideas, technologies, as well as illumination, soul purpose, and Venus, which is the divine goddess. It's the billionaire. So there's a lot of money around innovation, around new inventions, around technology, lightning bolts of inspiration. It's in Aries, which is starting new projects. It's pioneering. It's new ideas. Okay. And you might feel that there's like a certain amount of electricity in the air, like a divine spark, if you will. And it's drawing the leaders up and out because Aries is leadership energy. And so your Uranus is that lightning bolts of change and inspiration. Venus is the billionaire planet, it's money. And so there's a lot of money around people getting excited about new age ideas, about new inventions, about technology, about making things easier for ourselves in our role as leaders, allowing technology to be of service to us. It's very, very powerful energy. Okay. So at the same time that we have this beautiful Venusian, Aries, leadership, Uranus, change energy, the fact that Venus is in an astrological sign that's related to Mars, feminine, masculine, means that we're doing a divine balancing act. And so we have to ask, well, where is Mars? Because Mars is the ruler of Aries. Okay, so planets always rule signs. And so Aries, where the billionaire planet is ruled by Mars. And right now, Mars is in the constellation of Pisces. And of course, I've gone on and on about Pisces. Pisces energy, of course, being the divine waters, being the divine flow. It is intuition, imagination, it's fantasy, it's retreat, it's going within. And right now, we have about 7 things in Pisces. So I just wanted to kind of dive into what is Piscean energy really about? Okay. So Piscean energy, as you can see here, is two fishes. And they say that these two fishes swim in different worlds. And so one fish swims in the realm of the material, our work, our job, our daily lives, our physical body. And then the other fish swims up here in the etheric, allowing amazing new cosmic pieces of information to flow in. Okay. And integrating those two on deeper and deeper levels. So when we have Mars, the planet of action, the planet of the masculine in Mars, I'm sorry, the planet of the masculine, Mars, in the constellation of Pisces, which is divine feminine flow. Okay. Pisces is very feminine. It's very intuitive. It's very much about being versus doing. And so we have the planet of doing, Mars, and the planet in that sign of non-doing. And we have Venus, the planet of love and abundance, in the sign of Aries, which is Mars energy, which is masculine. And so we have this little yin yang or flip between what Venus and Mars typically do. And so what happens in a relationship, according to many experts that I followed, when a man takes on the feminine role and the woman takes on a masculine role, or whatever gender you are, when the masculine energy tries to become feminine and the feminine energy attempts to become masculine, it can be very confusing. Okay. It can be very confusing. And so it's creating a bit of polarity or charge in the collective field because we're going to take action, get into that masculine side, and it's saying, oh, but I'm in Pisces. I'm introspective. I'm intuitive. I'm feeling into the flow. Right. And then our feminine side is like, okay, I'm going to get into my feminine side. I'm going to be receptive. I'm going to be intuitive. I'm going to listen to the flow. But it's like, go, take action, do it. And so there's a little bit of this role reversal going on. Comment below. Are you noticing anything interesting in your relationships? Are you having interesting conversations with your partner? Are things kind of sensitive right now? With the divine masculine planet Mars in the divine feminine sign of Pisces, I would recommend, if you are in a relationship with a masculine partner, he may be more on the masculine side, right? He may be going through a lot of deep reflection. There may be very like openings of psychic channels and gateways that up to this point have not been available, have not been noticed. He might be called to be more quiet and more internal and just kind of more in this receptive yin state. Right. And so we have this Uranus conjunct the sun energy. Exactly. So at the same time, we have Uranus conjunct the sun, which is this like illumination and new ideas and excitement. You might change jobs, you might move to a new location. But at the same time, the Mars energy, which is the doing energy, is a bit receptive. It's a bit pulled back. It's a bit like, wait, I need to dream about this. I need to think about this. I need to imagine this scenario and feel into it. And so there's so many different things at play right now. I wanted to take the time to kind of show you the different threads of the energetic pattern that we're currently in. And so I'm going to stop share for a moment and I'm going to share the astrological chart for today to further illuminate some of these energetics. Okay. So here we go. Here we have the chart of the day. And I want to immediately bring your attention to the fact that Pisces, which has had so many planets in it for several months now, since probably late February, currently has the moon, which is about emotion and intuition. It's about how we feel, what we need to feel nurtured. With the moon in Pisces, you might suddenly find yourself, it was in Aquarius. So it was like literally hours previous. It was in Aquarius. Aquarius is very active. It's very social. It's the friend of everyone. So when the moon is in Aquarius, we tend to find ourselves very social, very external, very much talking and communicating. And then we had the moon go past Saturn in Aquarius, which Saturn is structure and technology, and the new age. And so a lot of us new age entrepreneurs with Saturn in Aquarius are being called to take way more action on building the structure of our businesses, our websites, our online presence. It's almost like mandatory at this point in time. Okay. And Moon has now gone into Pisces. Moon is conjunct Saturn. Saturn is discipline. Moon is emotion. Moon is feels. So having Saturn near the moon at this time could mean that we're a little bit restrictive of our emotions. We might feel like, yes, I have my emotions, I feel them, but I'm sort of in a container where I'm not really letting them just flow out. Okay. And Moon in Pisces is total water, whereas Saturn is in Aquarius, which is air, which is the mind. And so the question becomes, maybe our minds with Saturn so close to the moon right at this moment is sort of like overthinking, maybe, and maybe not really allowing us to just drop into the emotional center, to feel how we are feeling, to allow what it is to flow through us. That is sort of moon speak. Okay, and the moon is approaching conjunction with Neptune. She'll pass through Neptune tomorrow, which means tomorrow is going to be a very sort of spiritual, intuitive, beautiful day. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus related to spiritual love. And so when the moon comes close to Neptune, which she will be doing overnight, you might have incredible dreams. You might just really feel into this magical, intuitive, sparkly mermaid land of just pure beingness, pure water, pure awareness. Okay. And so I just want to bring your attention to the fact that we have Moon, Neptune, Mars, the destiny point, and the destiny point relates to what we're learning as a collective right now for this entire year. It's sort of the main theme or focus, and it's in Pisces. And so interestingly, that's all about retreat. That's all about intuition. That's all about really going within and listening to the spiritual pulse of our own soul. And when we have a destiny point, there's always a matching twin, which is its opposite polarity, which is what we're moving away from. So if the destiny point is what we as a collective are moving towards, then the south node or past life karmic point is what we're moving away from. And so destiny point is in water, it's in flow, it's in intuition, it's in psychic, intuitive feeling. It's just allowing ourselves to be the beautiful divine conduit channel of the spiritual truth of creation to flow through us. That is the beautiful Piscean energy. Whereas Virgo is the south node, which is all about work, details, logic. It's earth, it's about the physical body. It's about what you can touch, right? What you can see. What can you harvest from the earth and turn into medicine, turn into food, turn into preserves? Virgo is sort of the work and effort it takes to bring in the harvest because Virgo happens around the harvest time. And so Virgo really is about work because we have to work during that time to provide all the bounty that will sustain us through the winter. Whereas Pisces is all about the dream time as we prepare for spring. And so they're very different energetics. And so having Virgo in the South Node here tells me that it's highly probable that working hard and, preparing and thinking and planning and all those kind of Virgo qualities are things we're moving away from. You say, well, how do I get any work done? Well, that's an interesting question. with the destiny point in Pisces, with Mars, which is action in Pisces, which the moon and Neptune. What if it's not about work this year? What if it's more about inspiration? What if it's more about the dream? What if it's more about your imagination and what you can create through your thinking and your emotions? What if that's the collective lesson and the collective focus? And that's what I perceive with the destiny point in Pisces, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things in Pisces right now, including the destiny point, conjunct the sun moon midpoint, which is the balance between the sun and the moon. Sun moon midpoint, of course, referring to our most basic self right now, our most basic self. So it's about that spiritual center. It's about listening to the voice within. It's about the spiritual truth. And look, we have, this conflict in the Middle East relating to our spiritual truth, relating to their spiritual truth, relating to so many different people's spiritual truth and the conflicts that it has created over thousands and thousands of years. And so with the destiny point in Pisces, conjunct the sun moon midpoint, I feel that we're really being asked to pray, to visualize, to imagine peace on earth, truly, because to imagine spiritual freedom, to imagine spiritual harmony for all beings, for all rays of light on this planet, right? And we also have Mercury in Pisces, which is how we're communicating. And we have Chiron in Pisces, which is the wounded healer, which is the place in our soul that is yet to be healed. And when Chiron is in Pisces, it speaks to a psychic wound. It speaks to our pain or loss around our intuitive abilities. And so the collective is learning to heal the wound of the feminine, the intuition, the waters of our awareness, the waters of the soul, right? For how long has the question of the soul, right, been sort of relegated to religion and relegated to, you know, out over there, when the truth of the matter is we are souls having a human experience. And I think that directly relates to destiny point in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, Virgo being the body, Pisces being the soul. And there's so much emphasis on soul right now. And so I find that really incredible with the work that I do as a spiritual healer and as a psychic intuitive guide, utilizing the chart as I work with clients to assist them in healing at the soul level. And so I don't just read a chart. When I work with a person, I'm working with their whole being, their whole consciousness, to utilize the map from the stars as a guidepost to assist them to be a mirror for their blueprint, because the star map is truly a blueprint of the soul as it came through at the moment of your birth. And so the chart today is telling us sort of this story through the energetics. It's like the Golden Compass movie where the girl spins her compass and it comes up with a symbol. And so this chart is giving us a reading of the energetic that we are currently in right now on the planet. And so the energy is big. The energy is big. And so I wanted to share a little story about this Piscean energy, because there's something happening along with so many planets in Pisces, the soul, is this other constellation that really doesn't get too much press. We just mainly hear about Pisces most of the time. And so I wanted to share with you beyond the Piscean energy, right? Which is Piscean energy is all about our artistic, musical, dance. It's all about channeling the divine spirit through as some type of offering to the planet, whether that be through art or music or dance, or through channeling, right? And I think a lot of what I do is channeling, and it's a gift that I get to bring to all of you. And so it's the water. Pisces is the divine water. It's the divine feminine. It's the flow. I often think of Pisces as similar to the womb energy before you're born. It's just that watery haven of comfort and beauty and peace. And there's that beautiful Asian flute music playing, and you're just sort of in this wave of spiritual energy on Earth. And that's the Piscean energy. It's very beautiful. It's very peaceful. Now, the extreme is that people could get lost in a dream world, or they could lose touch with reality, right? Or they could lose their minds because they've gone to another planet or another world in their imagination. And so Pisces really speaks to that thin line between allowing divine spiritual truth into our lives, connecting to something higher, something bigger. And then also, do we lose touch with reality? That's why there's the two fishes swimming. Now, all these planets in Pisces that I just shared with you, and even Aries, the constellation of Aries as well. So Sun in Aries, Venus in Aries, and then we've got Mercury and all those other planets down here in Pisces, is they're all very cozy with a constellation called Cetus. And Cetus is here, and then up above is the constellation of Pegasus. And there's a very cool Greek story about Cetus. And so Cetus is actually a very large constellation. It's in some ways much bigger than Pisces is. And so we have so many planets near Cetus, and Cetus means the sea monster. It's interesting, or the sea whale. Okay. And so every year between about March 10th and golly, about May 10th, we have this huge amount of planets that go through Cetus. And I didn't know about this. I'm born around the same time as the sun is near the head of Cetus, but Cetus has a pretty profound energy. It can be very intense. And so I wanted to share with you the story from Greek mythology that I found about Cetus to hopefully bring some light to you if you are going through a Cetus moment in your life or going through challenges as exciting as these times are and as many opportunities there are, you may be. And so I wanted to share with you a story of Cetus, the sea monster from Greek mythology. And so the story goes that Cassiopeia, this goddess here, was a princess, and she angered the god Triton, who is the god of the sea, by saying she was more beautiful than all the sea nymphs. And he grew angry at her, and he commanded Cetus, his sea monster, to go, and that her mother and father would have to sacrifice her, chain her to a rock, and leave her for Cetus, the sea monster. So they did, because they were afraid that Cetus, the sea monster, this big, scary beast, would come and eat all their village and destroy everything. And so they gave up their most precious possession, their daughter, their most prized, joyous, beloved treasure, their daughter. They chained her to a rock, and there she sat, thinking that this was it. She was going to be eaten by Cetus, the monster. When along comes Pegasus with the great champion, the great hero from Greek mythology, Perseus, aboard. And so it's very interesting because in the star constellation, Cetus is always on one side of Pisces and Pegasus is right above. And so it's like the above and the below, and a bit like a yin yang. Okay. And in between is this beautiful princess, which maybe is our divine innocent self, seeking to be freed and liberated from this battle. And so here she is. She's terrified that this is it, right? She's at the end of her journey. She's sitting there. All hope is lost. This is it. This is the end, she's thinking. When all of a sudden, Perseus and Pegasus arrive on the scene. They have Medusa's head. I mean, that's a whole nother side story I'm not going to get into right now. But he uses the head of Medusa to turn Cetus, the sea monster, into stone. And so Cetus is sent up to the stars to be the constellation that we see to this day. Now, Perseus and Pegasus swoop the beautiful princess up. Of course, the champion Perseus falls in love with the princess, and he invites her to come back to his homeland of Crete and be the queen of her own domain, the queen of his domain. And so it's a very interesting story of basically being at the last hope, thinking, this is it. My life is over. Whereas, and she looks up and all of a sudden, a divine blessing, a miracle, a divine gift from the heavens, Perseus, Pegasus arrives, champions her cause, saves her, and then she's rewarded with this whole new, bigger, more bountiful opportunity and divine blessing. And so, as we approach the new moon on Tuesday, I really want to invite you to whatever challenge or issue you're dealing with right now, to invite the possibility that perhaps this is leading to your divine miracle, to your divine blessing, to something you never expected. Just like heaven and the word miracle. You don't always expect a miracle, and yet miracles happen every single day. Miracles are possible, miracles are a gift, and they happen all of the time if we will but hold space for their possibility. And so I really want to encourage you wherever you are, whatever you're going through. Perhaps this challenge or issue you're in is simply a moment of opportunity, awaiting for your discovery. And so, with that said, with the current intensity of the times, with this new moon coming up on Tuesday, May 7th, I'm going to lead another 5-day challenge starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And what I'm really excited to do is to really open the field for your questions. The questions about your lives, the questions about your purpose, the questions about wealth and abundance in your life, the questions of my soulmate, what would my perfect soulmate be like, the questions about health and healing. I'm really excited for healers to come to this call and to this challenge because I have been able to utilize these True the Stars astrology charts to identify core long-term health issues and diagnose and then give treatment, healing, energy treatment around these issues and had really powerful results. I'm also able, with the clearing method that I utilize, to clear hip pain, toothaches, back pain, shoulder pain. I've been able to clear a lot of different physical body pains with the clearing method I used, as well as taught it to other people and had the same results. So if you would like to join us for the 5-day challenge, please send me a message so that I know you want to come, and send me your birthday, your time, where you were born, all that information so that I can create your chart so that you can ask me questions about your life, about what's happening in your life, so that I can share with others. So this is going to be a live event. We're going to learn the basics of what is happening in an astrological chart. And then we're going to open the floor. You're going to just have me to ask questions about your astrology chart. This is unheard of how much time I'm going to put into this, but I really want to share with you and come together with you in a spirit of love and a spirit of gratitude and prayer, because I sense and I feel that at this time on the earth, there's a need to stay in a positive state. There's a need to stay in our hearts, and there's a need to stay in love. And so join me this coming 5-day challenge. We're going to answer so many questions for you that you didn't even know you had, and show you just how powerful this True the Stars astrology chart is to show us and answer questions like, oh gosh, what's the best way for me to make money right now? What's the best way for me to magnetize a partner? What's happening in the stars? There's so much coming. And I recently came upon an incredible abundance window happening in May. And I will share that with you at the end of the training as a special bonus so that you can prepare and plan for this incredible prosperity, wealth extravaganza coming our way. If you have questions, if you just want to share where you're at and what you're going through, comment below. I really love and appreciate you all. The new moon is on Tuesday, so I hope we'll have a nice big group together and we can set some intentions for what we want to create in the next 2-week cycle leading up to this incredibly powerful abundance window that I see coming. So sending you so much love. from my heart, from Blossom with Lotus. Thank you all so much for your love and support. I recently received a 95,000 views message in my email box, and I thought, wow. And I went and I looked at how many hours of watch time I'd had this year, and I thought, over an hour a day, every day, people are watching my videos. And I almost cried to think about being able to bring you this information from my heart, to stay in love and to create this positive ripple across the planet, which is what we do when we come into our hearts, when we trust our soul guidance and we speak from the heart. We are literally creating a ripple across space and time that is going to heal our earth. And I want to encourage you to speak your truth, to come from your heart, and to come from love, because that is what we are made of. Despite the illusion, despite the separation, despite how many people act in their ignorance and in their separation, underneath it all, at the core, at the root of the essence of the tree of life, the tree of our being, is pure, divine, unconditional love. And it is always radiating, it is always pure, it is always there if we will but take the time to quiet the mind, to listen to our breath, to feel our own heart beating, and remember who we are. So happy Venus Day, happy Freya Day, Frigga Day. I managed to get on here in time to get this Friday post for you all. I'll be back tomorrow, all about Saturday, and more invitations to join me for this 5-day challenge. Y'all, there's nothing I love more than bringing people together in the spirit of love. I hope you can join me for the 5-day challenge. It's going to be more than just about astrology. It's going to be about us coming together in a space of love and allowing guidance from our higher selves to come through and to illuminate whatever areas or arenas in our lives are seeking guidance, seeking love, seeking support. I look forward to seeing you there, and I send you so much infinite love from all that is all within. So much love, y'all, and thank you. Really, y'all have been so supportive of my work, and I'm really grateful. I really, really, really am. It encourages everyone else to know that when you speak from your heart and you share your truth, the world does support you. The universe does rise up to give you love, and you will get to your destination. If I can do it, you can do it. So much love, my friends. Aloha.